Hello, world! Welcome back to the Syntax Error, the podcast where we debug the complex world of computer science and turn it into something you can actually drink your coffee to. I'm your host, Vertika.
And I'm Shoria.
Today, Shoria, we are tackling a giant, a legend, a language that strikes fear into the hearts of freshman CS students, and yet powers, basically everything?
Pretty much. We are talking about C++, and you're right, Vertika. It has a reputation. People think of it as this scary, ancient beast where if you miss a single semicolon, your computer explodes.
Does it not?
Well, the computer won't explode, but the compiler will certainly yell at you. But here's the thing. C++ is the backbone of modern computing. Operating systems, game engines like Unreal, web browsers like Chrome, high-frequency trading platforms. They all run on C++.
So, before we get into the code, give us the origin story. Where did this come from?
It goes back to 1979 at Bell Labs. Bjarne Strostrup wanted to create a language that had the low-level efficiency of C, which allows you to talk directly to the hardware, but he wanted the organizational power of Simula, a language used for simulations.
So he wanted the best of both worlds, speed and structure.
Exactly. He originally called it C with classes. Later it was renamed C++, and for the geeks listening, plus plus is the increment operator. It literally means the successor to C.
Okay, let's say a listener is sitting at their laptop right now. They want to start. In Python, you just type Python and go. C++ is different, right?
Very different. C++ is a compiled language.
Break that down.
Sure. When you write code in Python or JavaScript, an interpreter reads it line by line while the program runs. In C++, you write your source code in a file ending in .cpk. But the computer cannot understand that text file. You need a compiler like GCC, Clang, or MSVC on Windows.
So the compiler is the translator.
Yes, it takes your human-readable code and translates it into machine code, binary zeros and ones, creating an executable file like in .exe. This is why C++ is so fast. The translation happens before you run the program, not during.
Let's visualize the first program, the classic Hello World. Walk me through the anatomy of it.
Okay, imagine a blank text file. The very first line is usually #include IOStream.
That looks like a hashtag.
It is. That's a preprocessor directive. It tells the compiler, hey, before you do anything, go fetch the input-output stream library. If you don't include this, your program has no mouth and no ears. It can't print to the screen or take keyboard input.
Okay, next line.
Int main, parentheses, curly braces, ... Every C++ program needs an entry point. The operating system looks for a function called main. The int stands for integer. It means when this program finishes, it will send a number back to the OS to say, I'm done.
And inside the curly braces?
The magic line, std.cout hello world, semicolon.
Okay, stop there. STD colon? That looks weird.
That stands for standard. C++ uses something called namespaces to organize code so names don't clash. Cout stands for character output, so std_cout is the standard way to output characters to the console.
And the arrows pointing left? Less than sign?
That's the insertion operator. Think of it as a funnel. You're pushing the string hello world into the output stream.
And finally, the semicolon.
The bane of everyone's existence. In C++, almost every statement must end with a semicolon. It's like a full stop in English. If you miss it, the compiler gets very confused.
So we can print text, but we need to remember things. We need variables.
Right. Now, Vertika, you've done some JavaScript, right?
Yes, let x equal 10, var name equal Vertika. Easy.
C++ is not that loose. C++ is statically typed. This means you have to tell the computer exactly what kind of data you're storing when you create the variable, and you can't change the type later.
Give me the menu of options.
The primitives are int, which is integers, whole numbers, int age equals 25. Double, or float, decimal numbers, double price equals 9.99. Char, which is a single character, Note that we use single quotes for this. Char grade equals A. Bool, which is Boolean, true or false. Bool is coding equals true.
What about text, strings?
Strings are technically not a primitive type in C++. They're a class provided by the standard library. You have to include string, and then you can use std.string name equals Vertica. Note the double quotes for strings.
I've seen people use the keyword auto. Isn't that cheating?
It's not cheating, it's modern convenience. Auto was introduced in C++ 11. It tells the compiler, look at the value I'm assigning and you figure out the type. So if I write auto x equals 500, the compiler sees 500 is an integer, so it sets x as an int. But, and this is key, it's still statically typed. You can't later say x equals hello.